Hey everyone, this is Elijah Gomez. It's my first time I've ever showed my face on some of my videos. But I wanted to show you guys my record, some of my record collection, not all of it, for the vinyl community, the VC. I've been collecting records for a long time, even before I had a record player again. But I just kind of want to show you guys some of my collection. I do have everything from jazz to gospel to heavy metal, rock and roll, hard rock, rockabilly. I'll just show you some of my jazz stuff and my rockabilly stuff and kind of some spoken word stuff I have. It's pretty cool. So I think the first one I'll show you guys is Adam Ant, Friend or Foe. This is a great album. I found this one for like $1 at a thrift store, and it's really cool because it has that song Goody Two Shoes on it. And what I really like about that song, it's funny, I like the video more because Carolyn Monroe is in there, and she did all the Hammer horror films back in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, and I'm really into all the British horror films, the Hammer horror films, and of course Universal Monsters. But Adam Ant, Friend or Foe. So it's a really good album. I don't have a lot of my stuff in the sleeves, which I intend to get and put them in there. So, but yes, Adam Ant, Friend or Foe. This group here, the lead singer and guitar player is probably one of my favorite musicians and singers around. I don't have all his albums yet, but I will get some. So I'll show those when I do have them. But I've always been a big fan of this group ever since I was a kid. Stray Cats, Rant and Rave. They have a great look to them. They're a really cool band. I'm sure you've heard of these guys. Rebels Rule, Too Hip Gotta Go. Dig Dirty Doggy, I Won't Stand in Your Way, Sexy 17. So, great album. One of my dreams is to see Brian Setzer live. He doesn't come to my town very often. I actually live in a city, I live in Texas, but he doesn't come down here. He comes down during Christmas, so it's either seeing him or like Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So we go to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but I want to actually go see some Stray Cats or Brian Setzer. So. This one I picked up from a friend. I bought it from a friend. Stray Cats, Built for Speed. I think this is the one that everybody looks for. I kind of see my reflection there in there. Built for Speed. It's got Rock This Town, Stray Cat Strut on there. Great album. I really love it. Try to listen to it as much as I can. I also have Little Richard's original hits. So this Tutti Frutti, Ready Teddy, Slip Slidin', Good Golly Miss Molly, Hey 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 Hey. That's a great album. I love Little Richard. So and this was $10, and it's in really not bad. It's got some ringwear on it here, but not too bad. Actually, I got it for $5. So I remember I got it at a vinyl convention, which we don't have many here, but I do have a friend who owns a record store. So, and speaking of which, I bought this album from him. It's a double album, but it's not a gatefold. It actually just has 2 albums in there, and it came with like a download code. So a lot of records are coming with download codes now. And I paid about $25 for this record. So this is Jerry Lee Lewis, The Essentials, and it's got a whole lot of love, whole lot of shaking going on. Great Balls of Fire, Breathless, High School Confidential, Fools Like Me, Break Up. So it's got a lot of great stuff, and it also has some Elvis songs that Elvis recorded. They weren't really Elvis songs, but songs that he recorded. So it's a great album. I love it. A lot of fun. This album I found at a thrift store. It didn't even have. It just kind of came without a sleeve in it, but the record's there. So I need to get this one taken care of. But this is Hooked on Swing. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this one somewhere. I see it all over the place. So, but it's got some great songs on here. It's from K-Tel Records in 1982. So pretty cool. Hooked on Swing. I love swing music. So, as far as my spoken word stuff, I don't have a lot of it, but I do try to collect like horror stuff or science fiction. So I found this. I got it for $5. It is the story and song from Walt Disney's The Haunted Mansion. And it's actually a book, so like if you open it up, it's not in the best shape, but if you open it up, you can kind of see here and read along with it. And it's got everything from the ride, actually. So it is cool. So here in the back, it's a really cool album. Play it for Halloween. Here's the back end. Haunted Mansion. And what's interesting enough is the people who do the narration in here, the story. One of them is Ron Howard, the boy in this story. He's actually already an adult. I'd say in his 20s. Before he did Happy Days, he did this. So it's really cool. It says Stereophonic on top, Disneyland Records, and it even has. And I usually have Disney records. Even has a classic rainbow Disney look on there. So it's a great find. I cringe sometimes when I put this back because there's no sleeve in it. So, but this is 1969, so pretty neat. Going with this, I got this for free at a comic convention because I do comic book videos and I collect comics. I sell comics, and I'm an artist. I'm a graphic designer and a web designer, and I do comic art illustrations. I do inking and coloring for some people. But War of the Worlds, I got it for free because I gave this guy some toys of mine and he gave me this. So War of the Worlds, it's a gatefold. Really nice condition, very nice. Got some minor ring wear here, but not too bad. And it is a double album. And that just looks so cool. If you see that War of the Worlds logo on there, that looks really cool. But I love this. I first heard this when I was a kid. During Halloween, our radio station here in San Antonio, 99.5 KISS, played it. And I loved it ever since. So I know there's an updated version up too, so you should check that out. And Jeff Wayne's musical War of the Worlds, sorry. I listen to a lot of old radio dramas, especially the scary ones, the horror ones, like Lights Out, stuff like that. I have an app on my iPad that plays all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. But this is The Shadow, so I listen to a lot of The Shadow too. He's one of my favorite heroes. This one has original radio broadcast and volume 2. This was pressed in, it doesn't say, 1973. There you go. It's real tiny letters back here. 1973. Original radio broadcast. So, and it's in pretty good condition, not too bad. And yeah, like I said, I don't like them not having sleeves because they kind of scratch up. But I will get all this stuff taken care of, and has some kind of tear here. It's a great thing. I love the Shadow. I have the movie. I love the movie. This one was really interesting. I found at a Half Price Books for like $5. And I actually have the Power Records stuff. And this is really cool because it opens and it's actually a comic book. And as you open it and keep going, you guys kind of see all that cool stuff there. And there's a record, there's the vinyl on that one. So, and I actually have a lot of these books. I have the Planet of the Apes ones, I have Batman. The only thing is that this one has a scratch on it. I don't know if you can see it, it's right here. And what's really weird is that it plays very smoothly. It does not skip at all, even with that major scratch in there. And so they gave me a pretty good deal on this. I mean, I like it a lot. You know, I may not listen to it all the time, but I do love having that as part of my collection because I did have these when I was a kid. So I got this from a friend of mine and never opened it. It is a Power Records story. Star Trek. I'm a bigger Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, in fact. I've got a lot of Star Wars stuff, toys and stuff like that. But I do have a fondness for Star Trek. My brother and sister used to watch it when I was a kid. So back in the day, this is really cool. Cool to have Star Trek. Going on my jazz albums. It's probably all the jazz albums that I do own, and I'm actually picking up some more. I'm really picky on my jazz, but let's just start. This one my brother has. You guys got to remember something. When I was a kid, I listened to everything. I was in the jazz band in high school. My brother listened to jazz all the time. My sister listened to gospel and pop music. I really didn't get into the pop music stuff. My mom listened to like easy listening, so I listened to a lot of that too. My brother listened to a lot of Christian rock, Christian hard rock, Petra and Stryper. I listened to more Stryper because I was more in the metal. And I do have some few Spanish records that my dad liked. So, but this is one of the records that my brother had when I was a kid, and it was just a lot of fun for me to listen to. I listened to everything. I was exposed to everything. Mozart to Beethoven. I listened to it all. So, Chuck Mangione feels so good, and a lot of people laugh because this guy comes out on The Simpsons, and they kind of talk about him and stuff like that. But I mean, Feels So Good is a great song. A really good song. It's kind of cheesy looking now. Back in the day, this was a really big hit album. So it's a great song. Great album. Great album to have. I listen to it all the time when I want to just relax and work. So when I'm doing graphic design work or web design work, yeah, one of these. Put some jazz on. I almost put metal because I put metal when I want to sit down and just jam out. When I'm working, I'll listen to jazz or some of the rockabilly stuff. I also listen to surf music, like so surf punk or psychobilly or horror surf, and I have a few of those records because they're very hard to find, but I'll show those in another video. This one I got recently because I'm a big John Coltrane fan, and this is really cool. Love Supreme. It's actually brand new. But I've also got a Miles Davis record that I'm picking up this week. But John Coltrane, Love Supreme, great album. If I can open it up here for you so you can take a look at it. If you're into jazz and you haven't heard John Coltrane, you've got to get this one. It is a gatefold, and it's really cool. I don't want the record to slip out here because you have to like look at it this way. But it is a single album. So there it is. John Coltrane, Love Supreme. Like I said, guys, you know, I've listened to a lot of music over the years. I've been exposed to everything under the sun you can imagine. I mean, I've listened to genres of music. A lot of people are like, what is that? You know, I've never heard of that before. So I just look for music. Easy listening. I've listened to a gentleman named David Arkenstone, which is like a fantasy type of music, really cool, new age stuff. Glenn Miller. I grew up listening to Glenn Miller and jazz band, the best of Glenn Miller. And what's interesting is this one says it has it in Spanish. Somebody wrote something here, and I picked this up for 25 cents. At the bottom it says, "With my best wishes, are yours anniversary, Glenn Miller, February '83." But I know that's not accurate because Glenn Miller was not alive in 1983. I don't believe he died a long time ago. So I believe it was in the '60s that he passed away. But we used to play his songs when I was in high school in the stage band. So it has a song "In the Mood" in it, "Tuxedo Junction," Chattanooga Choo Choo. So we played all those songs. So Glenn Miller, great album. This is very old too. This was pressed in 1960, 1965. So like I said, I don't know whose autograph that is. And maybe somebody was faked it and tried to get a lot of money for it. But it says, with my best wishes are on your anniversary, Glenn Miller, February '83. So it would be cool if that were real, but I highly doubt it. I know he died a long time ago before that. And here's another Glenn Miller album, The Best of Glenn Miller, Volume 2. So I guess this would be Volume 1. This is Volume 2. Best of Glenn Miller. This is kind of slipping out of the bottom. This I got for 25 cents at a thrift store, and I need to take some better care of it and put it in some sleeves and get some sleeves for my inner record and get one for the outside. So, and I'm picking some up soon. Keep it on the Glenn Miller theme. I'm a huge Glenn Miller fan. Glenn Miller's original recordings got this from 25 cents as well. So, and this was printed back in, it doesn't say here. It doesn't say on the back, but it's pretty cool. See, it probably says in the front. No, it doesn't. But I like this. I like the RCA, the old logos that they have here, and it's a very heavy record. Heavy by I mean of the weight of the record. The record's not in that great of a shape, but it plays. It plays really good. So this is it, Glenn Miller. Play selection from Glenn Miller's story and other hits, Glenn Miller's original recordings. Pretty awesome. Benny Goodman. I listened to a lot of Benny Goodman when I was a kid. So Benny Goodman live in Brussels. Got this for 25 cents too at a thrift store. Stereophonic producers, really cool. Printed in 1958 in one of these bags. So this is kind of what I'm looking for my records. But I'm glad it came in that. So there it is, Benny Goodman live in Brussels. Very good, very good, very good album. King of Swing, Volume 1, Benny Goodman. More Benny Goodman. See, a lot of jazz. I'm going to tell you, listen to a lot of jazz. This one was pressed in, let's see if it tells me. I need my glasses. I don't have my glasses. Doesn't say. Maybe say in front. No, it doesn't. Maybe I just can't see it. But Benny Goodman, the King of Swing, and his original orchestra, trio, and quartet broadcast recordings. Really awesome. If you find that, pick it up. If you're a jazz fan, pick this up. Benny Goodman. More. Benny Goodman. Volume 2. This was pressed in, doesn't say, but it was. It's really nice. I like it. Benny Goodman. It's an International Joker Productions, so pretty cool. King of Swing. So there's that International Joker Productions logo. This album my brother used to listen to all the time when we were kids, and it grew on me. You know, I love this guy. I love this his trumpet playing, the cornet, as they call it, trumpet, cornet. I don't know the difference really. I was a drummer in the jazz band, so I think every jazz enthusiast and lover has this album, Herb Alpert, Rise. You can't be without this album. This is a great jazz album. I mean, 1980 and Rise, great songs. He actually had a video for that out, and as what a lot of people don't know is that Herb Alpert co-founded A&M Records. A meaning Alpert, so A&M Records was Herb Alpert's record label that he found, and you can see his label. They would later on to sign bands like Christian bands like Petra, and do some gospel recordings. And he also helped discover, I think, I'm not sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he helped produce, and he was a good friend with the Carpenters. So, Herb Alpert. got this one for 25 cents too. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. There's a few of his albums I don't have. But this is pretty cool. Now this one is kind of open. It's broken here. You can kind of tell. Kind of sucks. But it's a great album. I like it. I like Panama. I love Cabaret. She Touched Me. My favorite song off of this album is This Guy's in Love with You, which Harry Connick Jr. did a remake of it. But it's on the A&M record label. He founded, co-founded. So here's another one. Herb Alpert and Tijuana Brass, Going Places. Original pressing, I believe, of course. Lots of fun. So I mean, his albums. It's fun to listen to these albums, and it's really cool. Buena Vista Records has all this old jazz on there, and artists that were signed on these labels. This was before, I believe, he founded A&M Records. So it was after. Sorry, I think he still found. I don't remember when he found that label, but he did. Whipped Cream here is the one that everybody has. I don't know if you can see that. Everybody has that one. So I actually saw it, but didn't get it. Should have. Herb Alpert and a Tijuana Brass, Warm. I don't listen to this one all that much, and I should. I should drop the needle on this one. Without Her is a great song. So he's got a Beatles song on here that he covers. Obladi, Oblada. So Herb Alpert. Here's another one, Chuck Mangione, Live. This one's like a program, sort of, gatefold. So there it is. Chuck Mangione Live at the Hollywood Bowl. And this is a single album. No, actually, I'm sorry, it's a double album. It's all in one. So, this band right here, I never knew what they were called. They had a song on here called Birdland that I heard when I was a kid. My brother would play it all the time, and I thought it was groovy. I was like, man, that's awesome, and I loved it. So I found out what the band was later on, and I bought the album. Weather Report. Heavy Weather. And it has a song that I love called Birdland. I actually played it in high school when I got to high school playing the drums. But yeah, this is a great album. Very, it's jazz oriented, but it's more like at the time of a modern jazz, a lot of keyboards and like a fusion type of jazz. So it's great. 1977. That's the year Star Wars came out. So 1977. So this is cool. Heard this group a lot growing up. The songs they have on there, they have lyrics to. We used to play in high school when I was in the jazz band, and like I said, exposed to a lot of different styles of music as a kid. So it's just not one. I listened to a lot of metal because I was a metalhead in high school, but I appreciated everything else because I just listened to it. I mean, I would drive home listening to John Coltrane or Miles Davis in my car. So my friends would freak out. What are you doing? But I didn't care. This band, Manhattan Transfer, the best of Manhattan Transfer. And they do have songs like Tuxedo Junction, Boy from New York City, which was probably their biggest hit, The Twilight Zone. They sing Birdland as well. It's a really great song, great album, Birdland. If you ever see it, pick it up. Sorry, I go a little blank there, but cool. This guy, my mom loved a lot. She still loves him. Loves his music. He wrote a lot of hit songs for a lot of different people, and yeah, baby, you'll get that reference when I show this to you. Burt Bacharach. Reach Out. Burt Bacharach. What the world needs now is love. I heard that stuff all the time. The Look of Love, which is a great song that Diana Krall actually sings. Not about 5-10 years ago, she did an album with that song. It's a great song. I Say a Little Prayer, which I wasn't big into that song, but great album, really good. And the final album is off of the A&M Records, and Burt Bacharach was actually signed to Herb Alpert's label, A&M Records. So Burt Bacharach, Make It Easy on Yourself. I got this for like 25 cents. I'll Never Fall in Love Again. Any Day Now. Make It Easy on Yourself. Don't You Know the Way to San Jose. Pacific Coast Highway. This Guy's in Love with You, which he wrote and Herb Alpert made popular. So go figure. But Burt Bacharach, amazing songwriter. But anyway, those are my jazz spoken word albums and other stuff. I'll have some rock and some punk. Listen to punk and show you the kind of weird albums that I do have. My wife has albums from her mother, who had passed away not some time ago. She kind of inherited. So I'll show you some of those. I collect a lot of soundtracks too, so I'll show you some of those in coming videos. And my daughter actually collects records, and she's got some David Bowie and Joan Jett, so I'll show those off too. But thank you for coming to my channel and my video and watching my video. If you like it, of course, thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead. Thank you very much if you do. And God bless you guys. Love one another, and we'll see you guys later. Take care. God bless.